And gentlemen, welcome. So, I wanted to wait a little bit with this video. I know a lot of you have been wondering, where is the review? Where is your post-match discussion? Where is your post-match review for the game against Tottenham? And I wanted to wait. I know, if I made the video right away, it probably would have had a ton of views. You know, it's a 7-2 victory in the Champions League against an English team. That would get you a ton of views, but that's not what I'm about. If you know me by now, you know that that's not what I'm about. I really don't care that much about all that. But I wanted to wait because while I was watching the match, right, the thought that came to my head constantly throughout the first half, second half, I get to that in a second, but throughout the first half, I constantly had the thought of naive. Tottenham are being naive. They're being silly. They're being stupid. And then in the second half, basically all my thoughts basically came to pass. Basically everything that I thought would happen, happened. And I wanted to rewatch the game again. I wanted to rewatch it a couple of times, 2-3 times. I think I've watched the first half 2 times now, and the second half once. Because I felt like the second half, yeah, yeah. We'll leave it at yeah. But like the first half, like basically why I thought it was naive is because Tottenham, they played as if. They played as if we were a team that never learned how to press. They played so naive in the sense that I think they either totally underestimated us or they went in with the completely wrong game plan. Now, throughout the whole game, that was a story throughout for their game, but like throughout the whole first half, especially. They would have like a huge, massive break. Like the defense would be at one side, the midfield would be here, and the attack would be right next to the midfield. So there would be like this massive hole between the defense and the midfield. And I was just thinking the whole time throughout the first half, I was thinking, if we just get one of these balls, if we just press really strongly, really efficiently, and very smartly, we can get the ball. And all we have to do is really beat the defence and the keeper. And I was thinking that throughout the first half, throughout all of the first half, because I just saw like that massive gap, and I was like, why is there such a massive gap? And granted, the second half, we kind of did that. We picked up the ball, and then we just scored from there. If you look at all our goals, they all pretty much came from us, winning the ball and then just moving forward, or except maybe the Thiago one. I mean, Thiago passing the ball to Gnabry from all the way up there, from all the way of one half the pitch to the other. Granted, that was more so just a switch of play, but again, we won the ball and just quickly, got rid of their lines, just skipped their lines pretty much, and just went for it. And it's a story of the game. It's a story of the game, and I feel like we haven't really had a team that really played so naive against us. I mean, granted, the scoreline pretty much reflects that. We haven't had a great season so far. We haven't had a terrible one either. I mean, in terms of like actual results, we've had a pretty good one actually. But in terms of actual gameplay, I would say we haven't had a great one. I didn't think yesterday was as shocking as it sounds. I didn't think yesterday was all that great in terms of us as well, as much as it was them doing bad. And that's not to take anything away from Niko Kovac, because I know some people will be like, well, we won 7-2. What more could you want? Nothing, okay, nothing, alright, nothing. But the point here is, I personally felt like, honestly, I felt like Tottenham could have easily done better. In terms of scoring, I mean, we talk about them, them actually lining up and setting up their play, but I feel like in terms of scoring, they could have done that better. Neuer had a fantastic game, like absolutely fantastic game. If the scoreline wasn't 7-2, I feel like a lot more people would be talking much more highly of Neuer. To me, he was one of our 3 standout players, give or take. So like for me, truly, like he was absolutely outstanding. Really proved why he should be on a team. I mean, even the penalty, he nearly got a hand to it, and that was a perfectly placed penalty. If that penalty was any worse, he would have gotten he would have gotten a hand to it, and quite frankly, he would have scored. So to me, he had a fantastic game. Obviously, Gnabry scoring 4 goals. I mean, man of the match. If you score 4 goals, you're automatically man of the match. There's no requirement to do anything else. You could literally just be a passenger all game, and if you score 4 goals, you're still man of the match. Lewandowski, of course, scoring 2 goals. And then Kimmich scoring 1. Kimmich's goal was absolutely fantastic, I have to say, by the way. Like that shot, because you don't really have much you don't really have much torque. Like you can't really turn your body all that much. You're pretty much just standing still, and you're just basically whacking it, and still placing it with that much power and precision. Just what a shot! Very reminiscent of like Gnabry's final goal, where like he kind of was in a similar situation. He didn't really have much time to turn and just kind of slotted it in. But Lewandowski's goal, of course, absolutely brilliant too. So there was a lot of good things. There was a lot of good things, and quite frankly, I feel like we probably could have won higher. Or I think even like a 9-2 would have been justified, or even a 10-2. Granted, perhaps that penalty shouldn't have been a penalty. So perhaps it should have been 7-1. But yeah, there's no point worrying or crying about the referee's decision at this point anymore. That VAR exists, and the referee's decisions are final. If once they're made, there's no point. There's no point crying about it. It's just the way the game works, I guess. We've got VAR to reduce mistakes, but it's not 100% perfect, and it's never going to be. And a little bit of flexibility needs to be in the game, in my opinion, my personal opinion. I would have said the same thing, if we would have lost. Most of the guys that have been here know that already. I would have actually loved to do a tactical analysis of this game specifically, but as a lot of you already know, when I used to do tactical analysis back like 2-3 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, I'm not sure, but a long time ago, right? So it was like 2-3 years ago, back when I used to do them. They got taken down right away, because apparently you're not allowed to show even pictures, not even a photo of a game you're not allowed to show, because the Bundesliga strikes it down immediately, and I'm assuming the Champions League would strike it down immediately too. So hey, I'm not even going to attempt that anymore, but otherwise I would have loved to have done one, just like analyze why it worked for us, why it didn't work for us. But overall 7-2, good. Good. I liked it. I liked the game. I actually liked the game from start to finish. I thought it was very entertaining. I felt like we could have done a little bit better in certain areas. When I say certain areas, I mean I felt Tolisa was probably our weakest player. Yesterday. I obviously not because his mistake led to their first goal, but I felt like in general he had a lot of moments where I was like, oh, you could do better here. Ooh, you really should do better there. But like once Thiago came on, I felt like we were a lot more solid, a lot more consistent, a lot more solid too. So I guess that's what it is. That's really what it boils down to. Now, I don't know about anything about injuries. I had somebody message me, like before I rewatched the game, I had somebody message me saying that Coman is injured. I didn't see that. He was walking out fine. I saw Boateng struggle, but he was being helped off the pitch by two. I think it was Dr. Wolfert and someone else, probably assistant doctor or something. But like once he was off the pitch, he kind of walked normally himself. So I don't know whether that's a serious injury or not. Obviously, I don't hope so, because then we would have two injured defenders in Boateng as well as Lucas Hernandez. Besides that, though, like honestly, I felt like we could have easily had more chances. I felt like in the second half, Lewandowski, there was a few times he could have passed the ball to Coman, to Gnabry, who was in a great position. Gnabry could have had easily 1 or 2 more goals if we had a little bit more. If we looked up a little bit more. I felt like Coutinho at one point got a 1 from Perisic, and then if he gave the 2 back, I think Perisic would have been in a great position for a 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, but he didn't do that. So again, there was a lot of like little moments where I felt like, yeah, you know what, if we really work on this and that, then we could easily have had another 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 goals. But ultimately, what it boils down to, I felt like we were very, very good. We were very, very clinical, which is not much like us. Like we have 10 shots, 5 of them go on goal, and then maybe 1 of them goes in. Yesterday we had like, I'm just guessing here, right? But it felt like we had 10 shots, 9 of them were on target, and 7 of them were in. That's kind of what it felt like. Like we were just. Granted, it's probably the nature of the chances that we had yesterday. Where like all of our chances really came off us picking off the ball from them, from the defenders. So obviously it's much easier to have a shot on goal that way, because all you have to really beat the defenders and then the goalkeeper. So that's really what it probably could boil down to, in all fairness. But like, it really just felt like, yeah, we were just a lot more clinical. I don't know whether it's just because of the way Tottenham played, Tottenham set up, or whether it's just because of the players really focusing, it's Champions League, so they're going to be extra motivated. Who knows? It could be a bit of both, for all I know, right? But yeah, that's all I really have to say about the game. Again, I probably could have recorded this yesterday, but I just wanted to make sure that what I saw was correct, and it was. That's all I have to say now, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you all in the next one, everyone. Until then, have a nice day. And remember, it's only good victory until the next game. Peace out.